Give me the patience for the small things of life, courage for the great trials of life. Help me to do my best each day and then go to sleep knowing God is awake. All is a miracle. The stupendous order of nature, the revolution of 100 millions of worlds around a million of stars, the activity of light, the life of all animals, all are grand and perpetual miracles. Philosopher, a lover of wisdom, which is to say, truth. There are two things for which animals are to be envied. They know nothing of future evils, or of what people say about them. Time is man's most precious asset. All men neglect it, all regret the loss of it. Nothing can be done without it. Never having been able to succeed in the world, he took his revenge by speaking ill of it. The best is the enemy of the good. History is only the register of crimes and misfortunes. It is not more surprising to be born twice than once. Everything in nature is resurrection. Madness is to think of too many things in succession, too fast, or of one thing too exclusively. The interest I have to believe a thing is no proof that such a thing exists. Language is a very difficult thing to put into words. All the known world, excepting only savage nations, is governed by books. Our priests are not what a silly populace supposes. All their learning consists in our credulity. I die adoring God, loving my friends, not hating my enemies, and detesting superstition. Paper money eventually returns to its intrinsic value, zero. All is but illusion and disaster. I never approved either the errors of his book or the trivial truths he so vigorously laid down. I have, however, stoutly taken his side when absurd men have condemned him for these same truths. You despise books, you whose lives are absorbed in the vanities of ambition, the pursuit of pleasure or indolence, but remember that all the known world, excepting only savage nations, is governed by books. God is a comedian playing to an audience that is too afraid to laugh. No problem can withstand the assault of sustained thinking. The history of human opinion is scarcely anything more than the history of human errors. I advise you to go on living solely to enrage those who are paying your annuities. It is the only pleasure I have left. Whatever you do, crush the infamy. Fanaticism, to which men are so much inclined, has always served not only to render them more brutalized, but more wicked. We are rarely proud when we are alone. It is one of the superstitions of the human mind to have imagined that virginity could be a virtue. He who is involved in ecstasies and visions, who takes dreams for reality, and his own imagination for prophecy, is a fanatical novice of great hope and promise, and will soon advance to the higher stage and kill men for the love of God. Superstition is to religion what astrology is to astronomy, the mad daughter of a wise mother. These daughters have too long dominated the earth. Answer me, you who believe that animals are only machines. Has nature arranged for this animal to have all the machinery of feelings only in order for it not to have any at all? The necessity of saying something the embarrassment produced by the consciousness of having nothing to say, and the desire to exhibit ability, are three things sufficient to render even a great man ridiculous. History is nothing but a pack of tricks that we play upon the dead. Atheism is the vice of a few intelligent people. The tyranny of the many would be when one body takes over the rights of others, and then exercises its power to change the laws in its favor. God created woman to tame man. The first clergyman was the first rascal who met the first fool. Nothing is so common as to imitate one's enemies and to use their weapons. A woman can keep one secret, the secret of her age. Every abuse ought to be reformed, unless the reform is more dangerous than the abuse itself. He who thinks himself wise, O heavens, is a great fool. Even in those cities which seem to enjoy the blessings of peace, and where the arts flourish, the inhabitants are devoured by envy, cares, and anxieties, which are greater plagues than any experienced in a town when it is under siege. If it is too silly to be said, it can always be sung. Woe to the makers of literal translations, who by rendering every word weaken the meaning. It is indeed by so doing that we can say the letter kills and the spirit gives life. The famous physician Dumoulin said when dying, "I leave two great physicians behind me, simple food and pure water. I should like to lie at your feet and die in your arms." Discord is the great ill of mankind, and tolerance is the only remedy for it. All men are by nature free. You have therefore an undoubted liberty to depart whenever you please, but will have many and great difficulties to encounter in passing the frontiers. In all the disputes which have excited Christians against each other, Rome has invariably decided in favor of that opinion which tended most towards the suppression of the human intellect and the annihilation of the reasoning powers. Virtue debases itself in justifying itself. What is called happiness is an abstract idea, composed of various ideas of pleasure, for he who has but a moment of pleasure is not a happy man. In like manner that a moment of grief constitutes not a miserable one. The world embarrasses me, and I cannot dream that this watch exists and has no watchmaker. Shakespeare is a drunken savage with some imagination, whose plays please only in London and Canada. History is filled with the sound of silken slippers going downstairs and wooden shoes coming up. Very learned women are to be found in the same manner as female warriors, but they are seldom or ever inventors. The progress of rivers to the ocean is not so rapid as that of man to error. Translations increase the faults of a work and spoil its beauties. To the wicked, everything serves as pretext. It is far better to be silent than merely to increase the quantity of bad books. Come, you presents will either give me life or kill me with pleasure. We adore, we invoke, we seek to appease only that which we fear. It is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. We look to Scotland for all our ideas of civilization.